Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there will never be a game against Gonzaga and BYU that's not high energy, a tight. Even we've had games where we've come out and really taken it to them. Sometimes they've come out and taken it to us. Sometimes, besides that one time in however many years they've been in our conference, was last year. That one, or it wasn't close ever. But besides that, they're just how it is. So I think that they are good. They've got Gustin is a load. Falate is really good. Boubacar is a good player. They've got surrounding role players who kind of know their role. They don't try to do too much. That's always been a strength of their program. Their role players know their role, and they have a bunch of a few all-stars that show out. And they tried really hard to do that today. And for a large part of the game, their plan worked, and we didn't limit them. We tried. Believe it or not, 20 and 13 on Gustin. We were trying hard to limit her. And she's a really good player, and at the end of it, the team effort that our team put forward is like the playing as a team. Like you mentioned, we said Callie had a big and one. We said Brenna had a big play. We had Destiny have a big play. We haven't even talked about Lynn, who had several of them, at that time. And so, I think that the motto that we have is what usually pulls us through in these types of games, which is share the ball, play team basketball, and never stop. And we got some stops, and we made baskets, and then we got some more stops and made some more baskets and towards the end. So that fourth quarter, I know Lenny made her run, I think, starting in the third.
Yeah, she had 13 in the third.
Yeah. But then that fourth quarter, we were able to kind of tack together stop, score, and that was the difference in it.
You said she had 13, but you look at your boards, nobody with more than 7, and yet you won by 5. So what does that say about team rebounding?
Yeah. Well, ours, our board often says everybody on the glass. Or, today with Gustin, you're trying to, Eliza and Bonnie, and they spent the majority of the time on her. Like, you're trying to do the best you can with the one, but then the rest of you guys have to get in there as well. And it's not going to necessarily be that the person trying to check out Gustin isn't going to get all of them, right? We're trying to keep her away a little bit, which obviously we could have done a better job with. We tried our best, but it's the other people who have to come in. Because if Bonnie's battling her, Bonnie's strong as heck. But if she's battling her, she can't then often release to go get the ball. That's why we needed those other guys to come in. And I love their numbers. I love that all those guys had 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, because they had to help us out.
And still without Maud and with Ejim and Falfield, again, like I said, you still run on boards, so that's got to be pretty bad.
Yes, and that's become an emphasis. Now that we're not at 7 anymore, for a while at 7 it was survival. Now that we're at 8, 9, hopefully soon going to be 10, we can focus on it a little bit more. But it's a huge pillar to our program is the rebounding, and we pride ourselves in it, in everybody doing it and doing our job every time. And so as we get Mount back, it's going to help, of course. But in the meantime, it's great for the other players to be responding and getting a few of those boards.
We hopefully get her back soon.
Yeah, hopefully. She's progressed. So as long as there's not a setback, yes. Yeah, so as long as there's not a setback, then we'll have her back soon, hopefully. I don't know if that's for Monday or by Wednesday, hopefully, but it is going in the right direction.
Is there ever a reschedule on the history game?
No, not yet. Jody, I tried calling Jody again yesterday. I missed her. She called me back, so we're still working on that. We'll let you guys know when we get that figured out.
Since we went out, we've obviously seen this surge from Lenny. Just what can you say about her? Obviously, she's always had it in her, but to see her right now being the focal point and kind of just becoming a star right now, what can you say about what she's meant to this team with her sister being sidelined?
I mean, she's doing a lot for us right now. I think she's underrated as a defender with the way she helps. She's a phenomenal help defender, the best we have. Obviously, she's assisting people. For her to have 4 rebounds, I know she doesn't average 4, but 4 is big time for us. But the points and the running of the team is something that we really need, and we rely on that from our point guard. She's doing it with grace and ease, and she's having fun. I think that if you specifically tonight and during Stanford, you can see her start playing, and she's having fun. She's just reading it. She's really good at that. She's great in ball screens and reading the defense and freezing people and attacking and changing pace. And I think our team feels really confident when she's out there, and she makes everybody else better. So I know that it's much more fun for her when she gets to do it with Lee, but she's got a bunch of sisters around her now, just not the one she shared a womb with, but they all kind of feed off her in the same way. So.
And then and specifically with those two awards late from Destiny and Callie, both of them coming off the bench and being able to have those big-time rebounds. You had Yvonne was on the bench with the 4 fouls. Just what does that mean to have 2 bench players come in and play such a key role in this victory?
Well, I think that it's kind of a benefit of what we've gone through with the low numbers and the sickness is that our hand was forced a little bit on some of our bench players, and so maybe we didn't think they were ready, or maybe we did, but they weren't getting a ton of playing time. And then when you're forced to do it and they do a pretty good job, then you have a lot more confidence. And so I think that the depth that our team has now feels like a lot more, because we've seen those guys play, in stretches, the proper amount of time really well. Callie was a starter against Stephen F. Austin, and that was a game that we played great. Destiny was a starter against Stanford, and that's a game that we played great. And so, you're figuring out, do they all have 36 minutes in them? No, not always. Okay, is there still stuff to work on? Of course. But I think that the product of some of the adversity that we faced is now there's a lot more confidence from us towards them, and a lot more confidence with them when they get out there on the floor. Anything else?
The league race, I know we didn't have a chance to get together last week, but how do you see the league right now? Any surprise things out there?
It honestly feels funny playing these guys now, and then we go back to non-conference, and then we're going to have another non-conference. So I can't tell you that I've looked. I know that Portland is still, I think, going to be tough. I know that San Diego's tough. I know that BYU is going to be tough. It's always interesting, Jim, to see these teams play against other people. San Francisco's tough because we get it all. However people say it with the target and the this and that and the best game, and the energy feeds them too, and all this stuff is true. So it'll be interesting to see as we all play each other, because I know that every team that comes in here is going to play their very best, but how are they going to play in Moraga, and how are they going to play in Portland, and how are they going to play in Provo? And that's, I think, what we're going to take a little bit of time to figure out, which ones really are very good and which ones are just going to always be ready for us. So I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And you just mentioned San Diego. They're coming in here on Monday. You mentioned that they look good. What have you seen from them on tape that kind of makes you think that they might give you some problems?
Well, they're just a great defensive program. They have been since Cindy got there. She's a defensive coach, which, of course, I love. I love defense, too. We do it a little bit different. They're crazy physical. They try to slow down the game. They try to attack the basket and then use some time, turn you over. At one point this year, they were in the top couple in turnovers forced. So, they're going to apply a ton of pressure and be super physical. And that's been a recipe for success for them. They don't love a high-scoring game. They're going to hope for it to be in the 50s or 60s, and that's usually where they have success. So we're going to have to find some sort of way to get points on the board and then see what we got.
Thanks, Coach. Talk about the game.
I'm just proud of the team. Coming into this game, we had a game plan, and I think we executed very well in the second half. The first half was a little iffy, but we made adjustments, and that's what basketball is all about, just making adjustments.
I feel like this offense is coming together a little more. I get a more stable group of 9 and maybe a 10th coming on the way, but I feel like things are clicking a little more slowly as players like Callie are coming off the bench and making big contributions and integrating into this offense.
Yeah, I honestly do agree with that. Everyone just brings different. Callie's mid-range, KK's mid-range, off the charts. Like, I trust their mid-range with anything. So with their mid-range, they can just open up in the inside for Bonnie. And then, like, with Brenna's shooting, y'all know, the other teams can't really choose. They have to pick what they want to take away. And if they want to take the inside away, then we still have our outside game.
Well, tight game down at the end. Brenna launches a 3 that goes off the iron, and you're there for the putback. Tell us about that play, and you were pretty pumped after that. So tell us about that play.
Yeah, my shot wasn't falling as much as I wanted it to. So coach just really harped on offensive rebounding, just giving ourselves an extra chance. And I'm just lucky the ball bounced that way that time, and it went in, and I was like, shoot, this is go time. So just hyped.
How do you feel you're growing as a player? These have been interesting times, and obviously seizing the opportunity to make a mark here.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation, with people down this year, and I'm blessed to get the opportunity to go out there and play. And I just credit my teammates and my coaches just having the trust and faith in me. and I'm just glad things have been working out recently.
Callie, specifically on that last rebound, you yourself had 4 fouls. You still were able to get in there on the offensive glass. Just is that something, especially with Vonnie on the bench with her 4 fouls, how important was it for you to be able to crash the boards as a guard in that situation?
Yeah, it's tough playing with fouls because you play a little different when you got one more and then you're out. But I just feel like that's what the team needed at the moment, and I was just happy to come up with it.
And then Kaylin, with Kaylee being out right now, your game has really elevated the last few weeks. Just talk about how confident you are right now leading this offense and kind of being, apart from Yvonne, kind of being the number one on offense for this team right now.
My confidence has definitely grown. I honestly, like, with Lee, she did relieve some of the pressure, but to be honest, I haven't really put too much weight on just because I know my teammates got my back and I don't have to do everything by myself. So just, again, like, our team is so capable of doing certain things, and their skill set is, like, off the charts. I'm just, like, wherever they need me, then that's what I'm going to do for them.
And then Gustin today was kind of a handful for you guys down low. Just talk about her game and what she did that made it difficult for you guys on her today.
She's very strong. She's very strong. Just the high lows, they look for her a lot, and that's what we scouted. So we can't block her. Obviously, the help side can't block her. So we practice on digging the ball and trying to get her at the lowest point. So just be effective on defense instead of putting our hands straight up, because she gonna shoot over us. She's a really good player. So.
And then especially there in the fourth quarter, you guys held them to just around 30% shooting. Was there something different that you guys did defensively that kind of stopped their run that they had there in the third quarter?
I think our zone was pretty good. We were switching between fronting Gustin and then just zoning the team. So I think just our adjustment of going back and forth, kind of threw them for a loop, because I think they were, at one point, it looked like they were trying to run a man play against our zone, and then it took time off the shot clock when they called the zone play. So that was a good adjustment for us.
And then Monday, you guys take on USD, another conference game before you have to go back to non-conference. Kind of weird, but just what have you kind of seen from them over the years, and what are you expecting on Monday?
I honestly, I don't know yet. We have film tomorrow, so we're gonna lock in tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna lock in on the film tomorrow. So.
Last question. I know Coach likes to keep players under 30 minutes a game, but you've been playing 35 plus, 37 today. Do you like that? Yes, obviously you're playing more minutes, but you're in the groove more. So is it what's it feel like? Tired, I'm sure.
Yeah, a little fatigued, but if you ask any player, anybody wants to play, So I'm just grateful for the minutes, and we're just trying to get everyone up to speed. So, like, I don't have to exert myself as much. But for right now, I'm just doing whatever I need for the team. And if that's playing 37 minutes, then so be it.
Cool.